A number of years ago, Arizona State University came by to evaluate the value of our cash flow game. Could it really be used as a teaching tool? And thank God they found out it was a great tool. They evaluated students who were in the MBA program, and could the cash flow game enhance their knowledge of business, investing, and finance and things like that? So one of the things that Arizona State came up with, this is from Professor Dale, which came out in 1969, which I thought was very interesting. So I said, I didn't do well in school. And this thing here is called the cone of learning. And what they found out is people like me don't do well in school because the worst way to learn is by reading. Those of you buying my books, keep buying books though, okay? So I didn't do well in school because I'm a very poor reader. The second worst way of learning is hearing words or lecture. So kids like me in school just don't do well because I fidget a lot, I don't like lecture, and I'm a poor reader. So you can go up and it says you can watch a movie, watching a demonstration and all this, and this is all kind of passive learning. So being hyperactive and probably ADD, this is not the way I learn. So the reason I like games and the reason the cash flow game is a valuable teaching tool is when you go to active. Now, the best way to learn is do the real thing. For instance, if you want to invest in real estate, the best thing you can do is go do it. If you want to play the stock market, you got to do it. The second best thing, though, is simulating the real experience. And what Arizona State found was the cash flow game was as close to a simulation of the real thing, which is why I say the game was designed for you to play over and over and over again, to make mistakes, to learn, to correct, to adjust your brain. So that's why I love games, and I'm really glad to find out way back in 1969, Professor Dale found out the same thing I already knew, that by playing games and having fun is one of the best ways you can learn. So even if you didn't do well in school or not, just by playing the game, you get smarter and smarter, you learn the vocabulary, learn how numbers work and all this. So this is a big part of the Rich Dad experience. Once you understand the game in our books, then we have Rich Dad's coaching, we have Rich Dad's education, we have medium and advanced seminars. But once you're ready to move on, when you feel confident in your ability to learn. So after you've done that, then you go do the real thing. So the reason most people get hammered on the real market out there is because they jump in, they have no experience, they do the real thing, and they lose all their money, and they wonder what happens. Then they turn their money over to somebody they pay to lose their money. Because most financial advisors are not really advisors, they're really salespeople. As I always said, they're called brokers, stock brokers, real estate brokers, insurance brokers. As my rich dad said, the reason they're called brokers, because they're broker than you. So if you want to get rich, practice, play the game over and over and over again, and soon you'll start to think like a rich man. And that's what makes the Rich Dad Company different.